CONCACAF Champions League semifinals. We just saw Vancouver Whitecaps defeat Inter Miami at home. Goals from Brian White and Sebastian Berhalter gives Vancouver the victory here, ending Inter Miami's quadruple watch. Rest in peace.
It's done?
Beautiful month-long period where we thought things would be possible, but that's over. And on the flip, we now have the rise, the affirmation of this Vancouver team looking to achieve something truly special this year. Will it be an MLS Cup? Will it be a CONCACAF Champions Cup? Shit, man. It might be both with the way they're playing so far.
So you're out on Miami. Leg twos, it's done.
After what I saw today, yeah.
Yeah.
I hate watching them play.
Yeah, man.
I really hate.
No,
if they
straight
didn't
up.
have Messi, this would be one of the most unlikable squads out there in world football. I hate their buildup. I hate the way that everyone kind of tries to fit into this team. The roles don't seem to be very defined. The talents aren't very good outside of the obvious big names. And it really just is Messi doing his incredible Messi things on set pieces or on the ball at the top of the box that really is kind of guiding this Inter Miami team offensively. Outside of that, dude, I don't think it's pretty football. I think today affirmed it for me. Vancouver, the way better side.
Yeah, outside of Messi, I think Noah Allen and Falcon had the only good performances. Ustari has been good. They keep Miami in games. They keep it tight. Defensively, they're actually pretty solid. And they were able to hold Vancouver for large portions in this game, but you said it, Vancouver just clearly the more dynamic side. They play the better football. It's why I was hoping that they could show up in this semifinal the way that I know that they could and the way that they've shown in the MLS as well. The identity that Vancouver has, especially when they play against Miami, it's just so much more clear. There's a clear structure to the side. You have Daniel Rios and Brian White up top providing hold-up play and trying to get on the receiving end of crosses and balls that go out wide. But then you have Sebastian Berhalter, who, for me, is actually the most underrated midfielder in the MLS this year. He had his breakout year for Vancouver last season as he was able to really rack up his assists. But this year already, he's back at it, and he's just deceptively good with his creative passing. He was the player that got that little one-touch setup that provided the assist to Brian White in that first goal. He's just so good with his decisions. He was there in that second goal to make it 2-0 for Vancouver, and it doesn't end there for them. You have Ali Ahmed providing width on one side, Pedro Vite coming in from midfield when Vancouver are trying to push forward. This team is very complete, and they don't even have their best player right now, Ryan Gault.
Wow.
Their Scottish Messi, if you will, is what they call him. They don't even have their best player offensively, so this Vancouver side is just so fun to watch. Straight up, I think the double is on for them this year because I think they can continue it into the MLS season. They're in the driving seat to go to the Champions League final right now in CONCACAF. Get the job done in Miami. They didn't concede any away goals. I think that's big. I expect to see Vancouver in that final. I'm excited.
I just don't see it happening in that second leg for Inter Miami. I just don't. I think LAFC had their flaws going into that second leg that were exposed, a very flimsy and questionable defense. And Inter Miami was able to wake up a little bit more offensively. Sure, they might be more offensively threatening in their next game, but the way I saw Vancouver defend today, especially on the flanks, dude, any ball that tried to come in from either the left or right side through a cross was just blocked. There's a wall every single time. Yeah. I feel like we just kept seeing a recurring theme of Vancouver intercepting Inter Miami's attempts at a passage of play in that final third constantly, bro, on the flanks, through the middle, wherever, which ultimately ended up with Inter Miami not really generating anything, bro. I can't really think of a true opportunity they had in this half that didn't come from Messi, shooting a shot from outside the box, dude.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't much. So I don't think their defense will fold in that second leg despite not being at home. And also the fact that Inter Miami didn't get an away goal today will prove to be very vital. I see Vancouver finding the result, getting the result in that second leg, regardless of what Inter Miami throws at them.
Yeah, it's a great point. I highlighted the offense in the midfield for Vancouver, but their defense was just as good. Straight up, man. Vesely Novik and Blackman and Takaoka as well in goal. So calm. And they knew exactly how to intercept the ball every time. They never got fully stretched by Miami. Miami did have a lot of possession. It's the way that they play. But Vancouver ultimately did look comfortable with anything that was thrown at them.
Yeah, so I have Vancouver going through. You have Vancouver going through too as well.
Yes, sir.
I mean, barring a complete miracle here, hopefully that is what will end up being. But now it's a question of who do they face off against in that final, bro? Because we have a couple of contenders here looking to vie for that final spot between Tigres and Cruz Azul, with Tigres hosting Cruz Azul in the first leg. Goals from Rotondi to give Cruz Azul the lead 1-0, but then Purata tying it up, making it 1-1. Cruz Azul, though, having the advantage going into the second leg as they got that away goal.
Yeah, and for Tigres, they did well to get back into the game. A really nice moment of class from Bruneta with the feed to Purata. But I just think Tigres ultimately were desperate to get it. They did get it. It was at home, but they conceded the away goal. I expect Cruz Azul to wake up in that second leg because, honestly, the whole 90 minutes in Tigres, it was a slugfest. There wasn't really much going on. It was more of a physical battle than it was a pretty football match. And kind of the way I saw it was Cruz Azul were definitely just playing the role of the away team. You know, they wanted to get one goal at the very least, get that away goal, take it back home, and then take care of business. That's very much how I saw this match. Whereas I think Tigres, the way we've seen them, not just in the Champions League, but also in Liga MX, this is as good as it gets for Tigres. And if it's a 1-1 draw at home, I just don't have high hopes for them to get a result at Cruz Azul.
Yeah, I'm with you. I see this as a win for Cruz Azul, even though they tied, because I do think El Universitario is one of the toughest places to play in all of North America. I mean, we saw the way that this stadium led Tigres in that comeback against Monterrey, where it was just absolutely rocking a couple of weeks ago. It's a tough place to play. For Cruz Azul to get that goal and have the lead for a good part of this game, I think it was very important. Tigres got that goal back, but I think at home, Cruz Azul will take care of business. I mentioned it before, man, I really get a similar energy from Cruz Azul here in this, our iteration of the Champions League here in CONCACAF as I do with Arsenal, man. I really do, where it's been a good 3 years of Cruz Azul football that hasn't resulted in anything big. If you look at their trophies, the last trophy they won was in 2021 during the Guardianes, during COVID, right? And that was a big trophy because they hadn't won the league since 97, right? So that was big. But beyond that, it's been a few Copa MX's here and there, and they have won a CONCACAF Champions League, but it's been a while. I was thinking about it, man. Like, similar to that Arsenal energy, would this be the biggest trophy in Cruz Azul's cabinet if they're able to do it here during a time where Messi's in the competition, man?
Exactly.
And I just think with the way they've been building up, the way that they've spent money in the transfer window, the energy behind the team, the talent, I think it'd definitely be one of their biggest achievements if they're able to do it. Go on to the final and defeat what would be a crazy good Vancouver team, would be monumentous for this Cruz Azul team. That's what I think they're aiming for right now. And I think in the process, it will be defeating Tigres at home in that second leg.
Yeah, if Cruz Azul do end up winning this Champions League, I think it would be very well earned. They themselves have been one of the better teams in Liga MX over the last 2-3 years, and this year they're still vying for that Liga MX title. It's there for them to take it. It truly is. And in this final, whether it's Vancouver or Miami, it will be one of the best teams in the MLS. And to beat a team like that will prove that this Cruz Azul team is actually very, very good. So I agree with your take. Cruz Azul have been working very hard these last 3 years. They've been so good in the scouting department, getting the right type of players and even the right type of coaches as well. I think this would be very well earned if Cruz Azul end up lifting it, but it's going to be tough. Whether it's Miami or Vancouver, it's going to be a hell of a final.
If we get Cruz Azul, Vancouver in the final, is it the best team in MLS versus the best team in Mexico?
I think it's the best team in MLS right now.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's the best team in Mexico right now.
It's the top three?
Top three, oh, for sure.
Okay.
Top three in Mexico,
you'll take
for sure.
that, bro, because MLS and Liga MX can be so flimsy. We had Pumas in the final. We had León. There were teams that got here to this moment, Pachuca last year, that were great in their run, and specifically in this tournament, but weren't the best team in Mexico at the time. Yeah. And so I kind of do like that aspect that we will see at the very least two top sides in both of their leagues respectfully going into that final. I'm excited, bro.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And I have Cruz Azul going into that final against Vancouver Whitecaps. So do you. Folks, let us know at home. Who do you have progressing through to the final after the first leg matches between these four teams? Who's your pick to win the whole thing? And if it's one of your teams, then best of luck. It's going to get exciting.